Hey guys, how's it going? It's Danconia here, and welcome back to the Overwatch Contenders Roundup. So, it's been a bit of a quiet week in Contenders because we haven't had all regions playing. EU and NA haven't done anything, I believe Oz hasn't done anything. It's very difficult because there's so many regions these days. But we'll get on to that in a minute. Well, let's cover what fixtures we've actually had. So, we've had the Pacific Playoff Semi-Finals and the Pacific Final. The Pacific semi-finals was Detonator Korea taking on Mega. This was a 3-0 for Detonator Korea. And then you had Blank Esports taking on Hong Kong Attitude, which was also a 3-0 for Blank Esports. This sets up the final as Detonator Korea versus Blank Esports. Blank Esports and Detonator Korea have been in Contenders for a while. And it's typically been Detonator Korea that actually have kind of always had the upper hand over Blank Esports, and it continues that way. Detonator Korea in the final beat Blank Esports 4-2, remembering that the final is a best of 7 maps. And that is, I think, the case for everyone. So it should be quite interesting. So Detonator Korea lift the Overwatch Contenders Trophy for Pacific. But that's not the only final we've had this week. We've also had the South American final. You'll remember that it was Brazil Gaming House taking on Icarus Gaming. Who would lift the trophy for South America? It is Brazil Gaming House, beating Icarus Gaming 4-1. Brazil Gaming House are your winners of the South America Contenders. But that's all I have. Yeah, I know, it's sad, right? It's all I have, because there's really not been that much in terms of matches this week. Next week is when it gets interesting. We are yet to have a few of the semi-finals and a few of the finals. In week 4, we don't have Australia doing anything. But in China we'll have the semi-finals, which is Lucky Future Zenith taking on T1W Esports Club, and Team CNC taking on LGD Gaming. On Friday, May the 11th, at 8 AM in the morning if you're BST, and 10:30 AM in the morning if you're BST. EU, we have the semi-finals. The EU semi-finals and the NA semi-finals are taking place in Poland, and you'll have all like ZP there and stuff. Because then obviously afterwards, as is normal with Contenders, you have the Atlantic Showdown. The winners of Overwatch Contenders NA versus the winners of Overwatch Contenders Europe. Should be really interesting. Now, Saturday, May the 12th, you have your European playoff semi-finals. This will be British Hurricane taking on CIS Hope at 11 AM on that Saturday. And then straight afterwards, at 1:30 PM, you will have Team Giganti taking on Angry Titans. Oh, they should be some good matches, boys. They should be some good matches, and we are lining up for the expected final of British Hurricane taking on Giganti, which was a obviously group stage match. In Korea, we have the final taking place on Saturday, May the 12th at 6 AM. That will be O2 Ardent taking on X6 Gaming, and then we will have our results in terms of the final for Korea in the next roundup. In NA, obviously, we have those semi-finals as well. They will be on after the European finals at 4 PM. You have Toronto Esports taking on Envision on Saturday, May the 12th, obviously. And then at 6:30 PM, you have Fusion University taking on Optic Academy. The fantastic thing is normally you would have Overwatch League, obviously, on a Saturday at 9 PM. Obviously, you won't have that week because Overwatch League Stage 3 has finished. But I believe that is it in terms of what's coming up next week, because obviously Pacific and South America is now finished. Australia will come back on week 5. No? Is Australia finished? Australia doesn't seem to be planned out. I need to search up Australia. Hold on a second. There doesn't seem to be anything for Oz right now. Oz could be taken this week. May 20th for the Australia semi-finals, which is Dark-Sided taking on Sydney Drop Bears and Masterminds GC taking on Blank Blue. Those will be taking place on May the 20th. The timings 1 o'clock PM and 3 o'clock PM AEST. Australia Eastern Standard Time? I don't know. I don't know. But for you Australians, you should know what AEST is. So, that's us for Contenders this week. There is really not much going on. But next week should be really, really interesting. We'll have the results of the semi-finals for both NA and EU. The finals for those, I think, take place on something like the 15th. I don't know for sure. Something like a week later anyway. But it should be really, really interesting. Really interesting. Or is it a day later? It says May the 13th. On the thing. Yes, it is Sunday, May the 13th for the finals. So at 12 PM on Sunday, the May the 13th, you will get the EU final at 12 PM. And then the NA final will take place at 3:30 PM. They will be best of 7. So, next Contenders Roundup, we will have the results of EU, the results of NA. You'll have your finalists and you'll know who's won it. I don't know when the Atlantic Showdown takes place. I presume the same day, Sunday. And you will also have the final of China taking place on Sunday, May the 13th. And Oz is a lot later. That's awkward, Australia. That's really awkward. So, by next week we will have South America wrapped up, we will have China wrapped up, we will have Europe wrapped up, Korea wrapped up, Pacific wrapped up, and North America wrapped up. Just for Australia to be lagging behind. Thanks, Oz. It's real helpful. I'm gonna have to do one Contenders Roundup for one Oz game. That's, well, 3 Oz games. But, for now, that's going to be your Contenders for this week. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next video. See you then!